Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and in today's video I am switching things up a little bit. I've been doing a ton of 4K reviews lately, and I still have many more to do, but I really needed to get in a collection update. I have purchased a bunch of titles through various sales over the last few weeks. I've got a ton of stuff in from review from literally all over the world, and I wanted to show that all off to you here, and because you guys really like these videos. So this is actually going to be one of the bigger collection updates that I've ever done. I might have like 40 or 50 titles because it's been a while. I don't think I've actually done one since the baby was born a couple months ago. So we're going to dive in here. I'm going to go one by one, show you what I got. I'm going to breeze through a lot of these really quick, just show you what came into the collection. I'll stop and talk about a few, but this will give you a good idea of what's been released lately, what I've added to my collection, and maybe give you guys some inspiration as to what you could add to your collection. So I don't really have any particular order. I'm just going to work through the stack of movies I have, and kicking things off, I got some new Mill Creek releases, and these are the Mill Creek retro VHS slipcovers. We got Splitting Heirs with Rick Moranis. I've got Renegades with Lou Diamond Phillips and Kiefer Sutherland. Then we've got Casual Sex. This is a kind of sex comedy from the 80s. And then I've got Cull the Conqueror, all with these really cool VHS slipcovers. Then Mill Creek also does a great job with like some double features of, you know, movies that don't probably need the highest picture quality, but they bring them to Blu-ray and HD. And so I've got a Vince Vaughn double feature. We've got The Breakup and Dilemma. So it's actually been a while since I've seen either of those, and I was actually excited to get them on Blu-ray. Now I've got some more recent releases here that just came into the collection. First up is Matt Damon, his new movie Stillwater on Blu-ray. Only on Blu-ray for this one, no 4K, but that came out during the pandemic, so I'm curious to check that out. Didn't get to see it in theaters. Then I've got Don't Breathe 2 on 4K from Sony. I loved the first Don't Breathe movie, so we'll have to see how number 2 is. Haven't had a chance to check that out. Also got Snake Eyes Origins. This is the G.I. Joe origin story starring Henry Golding. Snake Eyes. This is actually a decent movie from what I've heard. I mean, it's G.I. Joe. It's not going to win any Oscars, but I've heard it's fun to watch. Then I've got a new DC animated movie, Injustice, which is actually based on the story behind the comics, kind of the rogue Superman type deal. If you played the Injustice video games, I've heard it kind of ties into that in the Injustice comics. So really cool 4K from DC animated comics. I do love the DC animated movies. And then we also got on 4K Space Jam: A New Legacy. This is the LeBron James sequel, although is it really a sequel to the first Space Jam with Michael Jordan? And as LeBron can't measure up to Michael Jordan on the basketball court, he couldn't measure up to him in the movie either, and this one was kind of a stinker. Honestly, it felt like Ready Player One. It felt like I was watching Ready Player One, and LeBron had really no value in this movie. And then I got a couple really cool steelbooks. Both of these came in from High Def Ninja, 2 4K steelbooks. So link to High Def Ninja down in the description. Great website for all your high def steelbooks, 4K, all your movie collecting needs, and lots of other stuff at home theater. They've been partnering with me for a while, and so the first thing they sent was Carlito's Way 4K Steelbook Best Buy exclusive. So I'm excited to check this out because I don't have this on 4K yet. I don't know if I was going to get it, but when they offered it, I said obviously I'll check that out. Plus it's got that cool Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. But this is the real highlight, and this is M. Night Shyamalan's new movie Old on 4K Steelbook. But you may notice this is not just any Steelbook. We got a little signature up here in the corner. That's signed by M. Night Shyamalan. So one of the coolest things I've added to my collection, and I wanted to give High Def Ninja a huge shout out again. They've sent me some really cool signed stuff, a signed Jordan Peele Steelbook, among other things. And so really excited to get Old and get the Old Steelbook, but most importantly, have it signed by M. Night Shyamalan. Super cool piece for my horror movie collection. Now, just in totally random order, I've got another handful of recent and new releases. First up is more DC animated. This is from DC and Warner Brothers, and it's Superman, the complete animated series on Blu-ray. I love the original animated series, the Batman animated series, this Superman animated series. I have all the Batman ones. Now they're putting out Superman. Love that. Had to get that for the collection. Then I've got a new Paramount Presents titles. Kurt Russell, Breakdown. Again, a new 4K scan, but on Blu-ray, so we'll be checking that out. Also got The Green Knight on 4K from A24. I've heard great things about this, so I will be diving into this one in a 4K review. And honestly, I can't wait to watch it. I love fantasy horror. Then I've got another one here from, this is Paramount as well, I believe. Yeah, this is the Audrey Hepburn 7-movie collection. So this has Breakfast at Tiffany's, which already got a 4K, which was awesome. Funny Face, My Fair Lady, Paris When It Sizzles, Roman Holiday, Sabrina, and War and Peace. So some of these got 4K releases. Some of these got a Paramount Presents release, like Roman Holiday. They're great transfers that Paramount's done, but a nice little set of all the Audrey Hepburn classics. And then also from Paramount, I got Hardball, Keanu Reeves. This is a Mighty Ducks type of movie, kind of like Guy has to redeem himself, coach kids, but this time it's baseball. Also from A24, I've got Zola, which is the movie inspired by a viral tweet thread. That's the first time I've ever said that sentence, and it probably won't be the last movie inspired by viral social media posts, but I've heard great things, and when I checked it out, I actually loved it. I thought it was a ton of fun. It's the perfect A24 movie. I'm glad that they picked it up. One more from Paramount here on Blu-ray. This is the Crocodile Dundee trilogy. This is pretty cool because these hadn't been on Blu-ray before, so we snagged that. And then I've got from Sony, Escape Room Tournament of Champions. Didn't even watch the first Escape Room movie, so I will probably get to both of them at some point, but I feel like they're kind of goofy PG-13 type horror movies for like teenagers on a Friday night, and it's not really my speed anymore, but hey, I've got a kid growing up. I'll watch them someday. And then we've got No Man of God. This is from RLJE Films, who I continue to like a lot for indie stuff. Elijah Wood and Luke Kirby. And this is actually telling a story about Ted Bundy, which has been done a lot before in documentaries, things like that. But this talks about the FBI analyst who met with him and tried to understand why his mind worked that way, what made Ted Bundy tick, what was going on behind those eyes, those evil eyes. And so it's just kind of like a... if you liked Mindhunter, you'll probably like this movie. And then I've got the last couple review copies before I get into my purchases. I've got the Suicide Squad here from Warner Brothers on 4K. I loved this on HBO Max. I thought James Gunn killed it, although I will say it's a little similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. It has the same vibe, and it's interesting to see him cross over into DC, but I will be reviewing this on 4K. And then another 4K title, I Spit on Your Grave, which is a sort of controversial horror, gore, revenge movie, right up there with like Last House on the Left, that type of thing, that type of genre. So it's here on 4K, uncut, uncensored. It's a new 4K scan from the original camera negative and has like audio commentaries with Joe Bob Briggs. So if you're a horror movie fan, I think you'll like this one. It's actually from a company called Ronin Flicks, who I hadn't heard of before, but they were nice enough to send this out to me so I could review it. And now for my purchases. First, I got a handful of things here from Bull Moose. I had some Bull Moose credits, and so I actually used them to buy Silence of the Lambs on 4K and Misery on 4K, which you saw in my past reviews. But I grabbed a couple other things. I got Mary Poppins Returns on 4K, and I got Ralph Breaks the Internet on 4K, so still building up my Disney Pixar collection. And then I grabbed The Howling on Blu-ray because I actually had a viewer donate the slipcover, and I had the slipcover but not the movie, so I bought the Scream Factory edition of The Howling, and then right after I bought it, I heard there was going to be a 4K release of The Howling, and now today Shout Factory announced they're doing a 4K. But honestly, I may not upgrade all of those, and I like having the Scream Factory Blu-ray collector's editions all together anyway. Then there were a couple sales in the last week. One that you may have seen is the Criterion Collection flash sale, 24 hours only on criterion.com, 50% off MSRP on all their titles, which makes most Blu-rays $20 to $25. So I just grabbed 3 this time around, but they're actually all some recent releases. First one is Onibaba. This is a Japanese kind of horror, folklore, creature in the woods type movie. I have never seen it, but I read the description and I love like Japanese folklore, especially their horror, so I had to pick that up. Then I also got Paris is Burning, classic drag documentary, covers like early 80s Harlem, African American Latinx drag ball scene, which is a super interesting culture piece. This is one of the best documentaries of all time, and so grabbed the Criterion release of that. And then I got Beasts of No Nation because I do love buying movies on physical that had been previously only available on streaming, and Criterion keeps putting out these Netflix movies, so Beasts of No Nation, grabbed that for my collection as well. So outside of that, I actually purchased one more thing from Bull Moose. This is a Vinegar Syndrome title, I believe. Is this Vinegar Syndrome? I think it's sponsored by Vinegar Syndrome, but it's actually released by Terror Vision. Anyway, it's the WNUF Halloween special. This movie I've heard a lot about, and when I finally started getting a Blu-ray release, I didn't want to let it slip. So I'll definitely be watching this before Halloween, but if you guys have seen it, I'd love to hear your thoughts because I have heard varying different reviews and responses to that movie, and I had to check it out for myself. And then the last thing, I grabbed 2 titles from Deep Discount because they were doing a buy one, get one free sale on all of films, and it being Halloween and spooky season, I grabbed a couple for my collection that I desperately needed. First one is Cujo, the Stephen King novel turned into a movie. One of the few Stephen King movie adaptations I didn't have in my collection, especially on Blu-ray, had to get Cujo. And then I've been wanting this for a long time, and believe it or not, I've never seen it, so I am going to be watching it now that I finally own it, and it is The Monster Squad. So Olive put this out. I think it had been out of print for a while from another label, and then Olive re-released it, and I said, I have to have it. So I got both of those for only $20 total, $10 a piece, which is a great deal. And then the last thing I have to show you here was actually a little bit unexpected. I didn't know when it would come because it was coming all the way from Australia, and it's actually my first Imprint Films title that I've gotten from them. They're a new label out of Australia. They've been doing region-free Blu-rays and re-releasing a ton of stuff that previously either hadn't made it to Blu-ray or been out of print. And being region-free, it's great because you can buy them anywhere and watch them anywhere in the world. So they've been sending me some stuff, and they actually started with this beautiful box set called Collaborations, the Cinema of Zhang Yimou and Gong Li. And please, I don't mean to mispronounce that. I just don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I think it's Zhang Yimou and Gong Li, but it has a bunch of films from this very famous Chinese director and actress. You probably know the director. He did The Great Wall, which was that kind of crazy movie with Matt Damon, but he's also done a ton of great movies in China. He's maybe the Chinese Steven Spielberg. And the movies that are in here are Red Sorghum, Judo, Raise the Red Lantern, The Story of Qiju, To Live, Shanghai Triad, Curse of the Golden Flower, and Coming Home. Loaded with special features, beautiful box set. Imprint does a really nice job, and I'm excited. I got a notification today that said I have more packages coming from Australia Post, so I'll be getting those in soon and checking those out in a full video. But just know a lot of people have been asking. I finally did get some Imprint stuff heading my way, so I'll be able to check out all their really, really cool releases. And if you haven't heard of them, Google them, look them up. They have a ton of cool Blu-rays, but they are kind of limited edition and go out of stock quick, so you have to jump on them when they're available. So that's it for the collection update. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, a ton of titles. I purchased a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of stuff in for review. This doesn't even include some others that you've seen, like my purchase of the Scream Factory Halloween 4K set, my purchase of those Kino Lorber 4K movies, the Columbia Classics set, the Universal Monster set. All this stuff has come in since my last collection update. But these are some of the titles that may not get a full feature on the channel, but that I wanted to show off in this video so you guys know about them and you're aware, because there is a lot of cool stuff still coming to physical media. It is far from dead, as you can tell. I swear I've been getting more movies on disc this year in 2021 than any other year that I've been doing reviews, and that goes back to 2015. So it's been a really, really incredible run for physical media, and here's to 2022. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like this video so you see more like this and you're up to date on all the latest from my channel and all my reviews. I have much more reviews coming, many more reviews I should say. Suicide Squad, the rest of the Halloweens, Columbia Classics, Universal Monsters, Carlito's Way, Old on 4K. I've got a bunch of stuff I got to catch up on, so bear with me, but they're all coming and there'll be more coming soon. So yeah, notifications on, that way you won't miss any. Follow me on social media. That's a great way to stay in touch. I have TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter all down in the description. Please follow me over there. I really appreciate that. And that's about it. So hope you guys stay safe and stay healthy out there. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.